people all over the world. We can make a difference. Woman, man, boy, or girl.
Hi everyone, I'm Janeece Jones, and today we're in the heart of Charlotte, North Carolina. We're at the Wadsworth Estate, where I'll be speaking to the Honorable former North Carolina Supreme Court Judge, Miss Shirley Fulton. And then coming up a little later in the show, we'll have our Artist Spotlight. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Today I'm so honored to be at the Wadsworth Estate speaking with the Honorable Miss Shirley Fulton. Welcome, Miss Fulton.
Thank you.
Well, I have to tell you, Ms. Fulton, that when I meet people like yourself who have achieved such a level of success and have had such an awesome and great track record, I always want to know where you came from and what was your childhood like?
I came from Kingstree, South Carolina, rural, low country, on a farm. Started at North Carolina A&T. Little detours there, finally graduated, headed to law school. Went to Duke Law School. I was a single parent and moved to Charlotte to be a prosecutor and started in the district attorney's office here as the first African American prosecutor, female prosecutor here.
Wow.
And stayed with the district attorney's office for 5 years. And I was initially appointed to the bench by Governor Martin. That was at the district court level. 2 years later, I put my name in the hat for a Superior Court seat and was successful, did not have any opposition, so it was pretty easy. And I served on the Superior Court bench for 14 years, so a total of 16 years as a judge, 5 years as a prosecutor, a little over 20 years in the court system, and went out into private practice, practiced for 5 years. I'm of counsel with the law firm of Tin, Fulton, Walker, and Owen, located in the Dilworth neighborhood, and decided that I wanted to change path. So I'm no longer practicing law. I run the Wadsworth Estate, and I am preparing a mentoring program that will address issues that we all see today with youth.
So, wow, what a great resume there. What great achievements. So, Ms. Fulton, did you come from a family, from parents that told you, that pushed you to study in order to have a good life or to make something of yourself? When did you first know that you wanted to be a lawyer?
My parents pushed me in that I knew that I had to get good grades. They gave me all that they could give me, but they had never gone to college, and they didn't know how to guide me to get me to college. It was my own aspiration to go to college. I was determined to go to college, and I had a mentor who made sure that I got to college, even to the point of taking me there. Went to A&T when I was 16 years old, and even though I had the mentor, he didn't follow me to college, so I was like a deer in the headlight, trying to figure out, what do I do next? Who do I ask questions? How do I find out how to matriculate in another atmosphere where I didn't know anybody? And I sort of bumbled my way through until my third year, my junior year. I was struggling financially, trying to figure out the system, and I decided I can't do this anymore. So I left school and went to work. I went to work in the Guilford County Register of Deeds office, and that was the first time I met a lawyer. Never met one, didn't know any judges, never talked to one, didn't know what they did. But because of my work in the Register of Deeds office, I had that opportunity to meet lawyers and to talk to them about what they did and decided after just watching them that that's what I wanted to do. So I again changed courses and headed to law school. By that time, I had gotten married, became a single parent, so I took off to law school with this 5-year-old, getting ready to start kindergarten.
Wow.
Yeah. And as it turned out, I started law school the same day that he started kindergarten. So that was an experience. My younger sister came to live with me, so we sort of tag team being mother to him. And he spent a lot of time at the law school, even going to some of my classes.
Wow. 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 So, for a lot of people out there who feel like they kind of have an excuse, that kind of dismisses some of that myth, right?
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Ms. Fulton, some years ago, I interviewed another African American female attorney who told me that she absolutely never goes to work without high heels. She feels that when she walks into the workplace, she needs to be able to be physically equal to males. She explained it, or described it, I should say, as a male-dominated arena. So she needed to feel physically equal. And then she said that she needed to be able to look them straight in the eyeball. Tell me, have you ever felt intimidated in the workplace by males?
I have never felt intimidated in the workplace, and that's an interesting perspective. I built a reputation in the system, and I was there for 35 years as a lawyer, judge, coming full circle. And I've always felt that it was important to gain the respect of my colleagues. And I always walked with humility, treated them with respect. I expected the same thing in return. I think it's nice to wear heels to court, but I don't think that equalizes things.
It doesn't equalize.
It's what's in the mind and what you're able to present as an advocate on the other side that levels the playing field.
Wow, what an awesome answer. I just sense this huge, or obviously very healthy as well, self-esteem, which, is a part of that. But I suppose that all of that has to do with just
experience, wisdom that you gain over years of being there in the system, seeing a lot of things happen, seeing a lot of young lawyers come into the system and learning the ropes, teaching, mentoring many of them. And what you wear doesn't determine your value.
Okay. And I certainly do get that. I totally get that. Now tell me, a lot of people today question, or maybe they just feel uncomfortable, or they lack confidence in the judicial system. Are you confident in it? And if so, why?
Lots of things happen along the way in the judicial system. And we know that it's not a perfect system. But I would say that the judicial system in the United States is probably the best one there is when you compare other countries and other cultures. We've got a long way to go. We've come a long way, but we certainly have a long way to go. And it's all of our responsibility to make the system work. So when we're called to serve as jurors, we shouldn't make excuses as to why we can't serve. That equalizes the playing field. When we're sitting there as a member of 12 judging our peers. That helps a lot, goes a long ways. And when you don't serve, you can't complain when things don't work out. And you see things when you're there that you can work to make different. So, the system is definitely not perfect. And there are some wide gaps and lots of things that happen in the system. God knows I've seen enough of them. But you have to keep trudging and working and trying to make it different. So that's what I do.
I see. Now, when you were in the court system, was there one case in particular just really kind of blew your mind? Was there anything in particular just really kind of threw you for a loop?
The toughest cases for me were the death penalty cases. I heard murder cases where people were facing life or death. And the most difficult part was when the jury recommended death. Juries recommend death. The judge doesn't decide life or death. But if the jury recommends death, it's my responsibility to sentence that person to death. And I do remember well the first time that happened. I'm having all of these thoughts about who am I to sit in judgment? How can I sentence someone to die? But my resolve for that was, I'm the judge here. The jury has said this person deserves the death penalty, whether that's right or wrong. At this point in the game, my job is to sentence to death. And I do remember my bailiff saying to me after the sentencing, he said, do you realize that while you were sitting on the bench that you were rocking back and forth? And I did not realize it, but I think it was something within me that was comforting to be rocking back and forth, sort of like a baby.
Wow, that's a heavy responsibility, I'm sure. Very heavy. Got to take a short break. Come back, more with Miss Shirley Fulton.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
So shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Viewers, we're back with Miss Shirley Fulton. Miss Fulton, one of the first relationships that I had after divorcing was with an attorney. And in the middle of that relationship, I always felt like I was in some type of negotiation largely on his behalf. And I'm sort of thinking that maybe that had something to do with his training. It just kind of spilled over into all of his personal relationships. Tell me, how much of your training spills over into your relationships? Do you see that?
I'm sure some of it goes over because we're taught that as lawyers that we think different. I'm not sure that's true, but that's what we were told when we were in school. And lawyers are people also, and we all have our different personalities that sort of spill over. We take those into the practice of law. And I think also based on seeing lawyers come through the system over the years, the further we get away from law school, the more mature we get, the more practice we have, we become less contentious. We don't debate every issue that comes along. We are more restrained. We just accept things for what they are and don't feel that we need to prove a point. So I think that, I don't know where this young man was in his career or in his life, but I think we sort of mellow along the way. And sometimes there are some of us that never mellow. We just keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Well, you've spent, over 20 years as judge in North Carolina. Do you miss it?
No, I don't miss it. It was a good part of my life, and I did the best I could do. As a judge, I think I served justice well, and it was time to move on, to do other things. Something happened along the way. I had 2 bouts with breast cancer, and that made me want to do other things with my life besides being a judge. Even though I thought, a good judge, and people asked me to stay, I needed to leave to do all of these other things that God was telling me I needed to do.
Well, sometimes people ask if you have a bucket list, and I sort of don't quite like to think of it like that, because I sort of feel like, you're sort of thinking about the end, and I don't really like to think about the end.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think about living as long as possible. But are there some things that you really, really want to do?
Absolutely. I've got to write my book.
Okay.
That's been on my list for a long time, and I am beginning to start that process.
Awesome.
Yeah. I want to make a difference in the lives of the kids that are having so much difficulty today. And I think that I could do that with the mentoring program. Mentoring was so important to me being here today, that I think it can make a difference in a lot of the young people who are struggling to find their place. So that's why I'm doing it.
Awesome. And so how do you spend your time now?
I spend my time between the Wadsworth Estate, which is something I started while I was on the bench. And the Wadsworth Estate is an historic property that's located in the Wesley Heights community, where we host special events, weddings, receptions, meetings, political events. And it's sort of the crown of my work in community rebuilding. That was the last project along that course of my life, and it was my crown jewel, and it's my baby.
It's awesome. Well, Ms. Fulton, it's been so wonderful having you on the show today, and I'm really looking forward to the book.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Really looking forward to that book, and please, let us know so that we can have you on the show. You can talk about the book. And thank you so much for allowing us to come into the Wadsworth House and to have a sit-down chat with you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having us. Viewers, we've got to take a short break, and we'll come back. We're going to have our Artist Spotlight. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
Honestly, I didn't even see it coming. It's just like it hit me one day, the idea of being an artist. I've been making beats my entire life since the age of 10. By the age of 20, I already had 300 songs in my catalog, just instrumentals. And I looked up to Timbaland and Pharrell and the greats, and was like, I'm just gonna be a dope producer. But little did I know I was gonna turn into an artist. I remember when I was first starting out, my dad bought me Cakewalk, and that's how I used to make my songs. And he always told me, he was like, yo, Jason, man, it's cool to learn other people's records, but you need to make your own. And, you know, that really stuck with me. And, you know, I can definitely say it's paying off now, man. And, you know, being able to do concerts where I'm performing all original music and people rocking with me like they heard the records before, it's the most rewarding feeling in the world. It really is. I mean, you know, there are no shortcuts, really. You know, it's a formula, you know, and you can't skip any steps. You know, it doesn't matter how much talent you have, how much skill you have. It all boils down to your discipline and perseverance. What are you willing to give? What are you willing to, you know, to pursue? You know, what are you willing to sacrifice? And it took me a long time to understand it, and it's still honestly something that I'm still working. But you know, it never dies. It never changes.
I wonder why, oh why, oh why we keep on stalling. So we might as well get this thing going. Yeah.
All right, let me know. You're good. I truly believe inside of every person there's an artist waiting to be expressed.
So that was good. I like. Yeah, you got into it. You pulled the microphone off. You're getting comfortable.
My name is Jason Jett, and I created Vocal Power because I saw something when I moved back to Charlotte, North Carolina. Being in Atlanta, New York, LA, and Orlando, I saw musical scenes that were very profound and very diverse, a lot of different cultures. I saw community, and I saw everyone working together. Now, when I moved back to Charlotte, I didn't see that. So this program is centered around helping artists work together, create a sense of community, and also fine-tune each other and be honest and just grow and expose each other to new ideas and new music. And that is the purpose of Vocal Power. So one thing I noticed that we can work on here is, I think you were a little fidgety at the beginning. I think that was mainly with the mic stand. So some of the things that we work on range from breathing techniques to articulation to diction, phrasing, performance exercises, and we do a lot of creative exercises that really help the artists and singers do things that they normally wouldn't do.
That's good. Y'all give them a round of applause.
The exercises really give me an understanding, like a physical understanding of like how the voice works, and it's got me actually wanting to sing. I usually rap, but it's got me confident in that people like to hear me sing, and that's good to know.
And so that when it's time to perform or get in that studio and lay down songs, they can be very, very creative and very open and very genuine and authentic.
When I came in here, I did not like singing in front of people, and today was the day that we did, you know, the flash mob in front of everybody. So, you know, I really did enjoy it. I learned how to breathe properly, resonance. It's a really good program, and if you're trying to improve, this is for you.
I'm with you. No, I don't.
There's nothing worse than listening to a song and it just being inauthentic. So Vocal Power is really, you know, about getting in and just expanding and growing as an artist.
This is how it's not necessary.
Vocal Power is fit for anybody who is trying to just start out singing. They want to pursue music, but they don't really have the tools and understanding. And it's also for the artists that have been doing this for years that just want to fine-tune small things and want to get better at their craft. So in a sense, that's what this is all about. You know, what's your go-to? You know, and whatever that is, you own it. You do it, and it looks wrong. But I think all the other stuff sometimes just kind of gets crazy, like it's unnecessary. Yeah, that's me. I was 5 years old then. I'm all grown up now, though. I'm still a kid at heart. And reflecting on this past year, it finally happened. I woke up. Well, maybe more like remembered. Because in 2012 to 2014, I forgot. Before I released Love Boulevard, I was in a band called Bobka in Orlando. And we were versatile, we were hungry, determined. And not to mention, that's how I got my name too. But that's another story for another time. Real talk, this chapter laid the foundation for me as an artist / producer. And it was the hardest thing leaving the band to move back to Charlotte. But when I did, I felt like I had the world to give. And it was the first time I genuinely felt my purpose. I remember handing my CD to Dion Cole at Power 98, and he was instantly a fan of my music. To my surprise, I got radio airplay. I won several music awards. I was even pre-Grammy nominated and even opened for Anthony Hamilton and much, much more. My dreams were slowly becoming a reality. And one of my greatest joys was performing at the Great Apollo twice and bringing my best friends with me. It was an experience I'll never forget.
Jason's just playing right here. This drum right here is Save Room, getting ready for Apollo. What? Here we go. Say that you'll stay a little. Don't say bye-bye tonight. Say you'll be mine just a little bit alone. What time is it?
It's game time, baby.
What time is it?
It's game time.
It's
I'm telling you. This is what we in the game for.
Come on.
This for everything.
Hey.
This for them long nights, the hard times. This for our parents.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This for all the funny acting people. All the people that's gonna continue to act funny. This for everybody. He gonna leave the building star and he gonna leave the building square. We already know what's gonna happen. He ain't got nothing on this. This is for real. Like I said, it ain't about what happened yesterday, the day before, what you done did in the past. It ain't about what you're gonna do in the future. It's what you're gonna do tonight at 7:30. When them lights come on, you come on that stage and see that crowd.
Come on.
They gonna know jet plane left the building. They gonna know jet plane came to New York City. They gonna know jet plane came to New York City.
I just finished performing at the Apollo. Man, what an awesome experience. What a, man, an experience I'll never trade for the world. I believe we're all destined to be great. Sometimes we forget how great we are. So I want you to dig deep down inside of you, and I want you to remember how great you are. Peace, y'all.